valuations.
Absolutely. And I think price is the most important criteria that you have.
I find sometimes the valuations are a bit stretched. So I'm a more cautious investor, so I'd rather wait my chance.
Okay.
They're good businesses, they're just not good valuations.
Absolutely. And I think price is the most important criteria that you have always highlighted and talked about.
Valuations, yes.
Valuations, yes. So when you think about, taking a contrarian bet, because a lot of young people also don't understand how to really hone in on their skills. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you're also filled with so much self-doubt that you can't really feel very confident about investing and going all in one opportunity, right? So how does one become a contrarian thinker? How does one train their mind to become a contrarian thinker?
It's very important to do that, but it's what I told you what Warren Buffett taught us, that, and a lot of my work and speech comes from Buffett and Munger, so please excuse that, because I'm an unabashed admirer of the investing philosophy. So, which I told you earlier, that you're never right or wrong because the crowd is with you. You're right or wrong because the facts and the reasoning are with you. Okay, so if you do the facts and reasoning, you do your homework, I think you'll be able to find good ideas to play on. For example, to give you an idea of contrarian bet, the recent example of the public sector stocks that worked out so well for the investors, the early investors in defense and railways. If you look through those companies, they were trading at 0.1 times order book, 5-year visibility, PE of 5, and dividend yield of 5%. The only question was that if these guys have a party and no one shows up, what are we going to do? But the market doesn't work like that. Typically, when the earnings come through, the party starts happening in the market. And these companies have delivered earnings year after year. And what has changed, that what the market missed perhaps in that, is the corporate governance in these companies has changed. I think when Narendra Modi's administration came into power, he decided that he's going to fix corruption and fix the corporate governance issue. So all these companies have got a dramatic change, and investors are quite unaware of that, because that typically happens.
Yeah.
You use the old jaded view, what I said, using the past as prologue. What happened in the past will happen in the future. But I've had very good experience with the public sector stocks, even going back to the 90s when Manmohan Singh was the finance minister. He privatized a bunch of PSUs. And I remember looking at them and finding such gems as CMC, Bharat Electronics, Bharat Earth Movers. They all today are 200, 300 baggers if you account for the dilution that has taken place. So we bought these stocks at the pennies. So I had a good experience with the 90s, which I carried forward again in this 2010. So part of life is doing your homework, and getting ready when the opportunity meets. Let me give this point because I think it deserves some more explanation to it. Charlie Munger often talks about a guy called Max Planck.
Yeah.
He won the quantum prize for mechanics, and he was feted by the German citizens. And after a few speeches out there, going to his last speech, the driver said, your speech is long and boring, but it's so easy, even I can say the whole speech. So in the next stop, which is Munich, he says, you wear my chauffeur cat, I'll wear your coattails, and we'll give the speech. And he gave a flawless rendition of Max Planck's speech. The chauffeur gave a flawless rendition. After that, there was a question and answer session. And some physician asked him a very ghastly question, but the chauffeur had no idea. But he will not want to give up. He looked at Max Planck and said, I'm surprised that among the learned citizens of Munich, this is such a simple question. This question is so simple, even my chauffeur can answer this question. And he turned it over to Max Planck to answer this question. The point is not to explain to you how good Max Planck was, but the point was to explain there's two kinds of knowledge. There's knowledge that you have that Max Planck has, which is detailed knowledge of quantum mechanics, and there's rote knowledge which the chauffeur had by just memorizing a speech. And I would urge all youngsters who are interested in a career in the stock market to develop that Max Planck knowledge, that nuanced knowledge. It's very important in the stock market to do your own homework, do your own thought process, not carried away. A good investor is one who knows the value of everything and the price of nothing, perhaps. But most investors know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. So it's a very iconic moment to come through and understand that. But I would urge all young investors, this is a long-term business, not a business for a year, 2 years. You must make a career out of investing and compounding. And you must take the Max Planck approach, know your subject very well.
Yeah, and speaking on that, because I want to go a little deeper on that, there's so much noise about investing in equities these days.